Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome back to what I imagine will be the final episode of this Metaphor ReFantazio playthrough. Now, if you're wondering, what the hell happens? Where am I? What is this? Why is there one day until the final battle? Pretty much in essence, my video encoder got a little screwed up, and I won't go into the technical details of it all, but yeah, we lost the footage, which is pretty messed up, so we lost quite a lot of footage too, and I pretty much just let people down if you're watching this, which is kind of not a great way to start this video, I realize, but I just believe in being honest, and it all came down to I was kind of lazy with the way I stored my videos, and pretty sure something got corrupt because every time I put it into my editor it just gets messed up, so yep, pretty much like 4 hours lost, and I guess we can go over pretty much what you missed. So, if it wasn't obvious, we did every single rank 8 in the game. So, specifically Juna, Yufa, Basilio, Nuris, I think Brigida, I think everybody else we did on camera, pretty sure. So, yeah, I could go into the details of pretty much what happens during each of these characters' arcs, but I feel like that would take a lot of time, and we're kind of at the point now where we're very close to being done with the game. I think the Luis battle is just around the corner. So, I feel like we should just do that, but before we begin, I do want to talk about something called royal archetypes. So everybody is familiar with the prince, but the question is everybody familiar with the other royal archetypes for each character? Pretty much everybody gets their own royal archetype, so Stroll gets the royal warrior, Hulkenberg gets the royal knight, Izme gets the royal thief, Juna gets the royal masked dancer, Yufa gets the royal summoner, Basilio gets the royal berserker. And these are special archetypes like the prince, but they are pretty hard to get. Like, you need some pretty ridiculous requirements, and let's just say I'm what level am I now? 75, and I barely just got enough XP to get these, so it's quite difficult. It was quite difficult. I'm just gonna be like 100% honest. It was not easy. But these guys have some crazy abilities. They got stuff like Noble Warrior Soul. If wielder defeats an enemy with a physical attack, no turn icon is lost. Also Hasotobi, classic Mega 10. I think the synthesis skills are kind of the same for the most part. I particularly like Izme's because he has something called Noble Thief Soul. Depletes all of an enemy's turn icons if their attack is dodged. So pretty much, if Izme's in your party and he dodges an attack, it counts as a repel. So that is really busted when you're going against bosses who have like 9-10 turns. So yeah, definitely recommend royal archetypes. And as you can see, we've pretty much got all of them. They're pretty leveled up for the most part. 15, 12, 17 mastered, so I imagine we probably won't get them all to 20, just by way of how this is, how much XP is probably left in the game. But it's pretty great. Anyway, so we are in the palace now. And like I said, I'm pretty sure the Luis fight's just around the corner, so let's go face him, shall we?
What now?
And I think who I want to become a party member for this, I think we're gonna switch out Basilio and Yufa for Izme and Hulkenberg. So we'll do myself, Yufa, or myself, Juna, Izme, Hulkenberg. It's a pretty good team. It's hard to talk shit about them. They're pretty powerful.
This place.
Is this where His Highness was attacked?
This is where it all began, then.
Now we know Forden manipulated Rella to attack the prince, and tried to shift the blame to Luis to get him pushed out of his station.
No doubt Forden underestimated Luis as a mere child. And when he regained his grasp on the military, the Sanctifex was taken entirely by surprise.
How little of this I understood before. Yet now all is clear. Alsace left me behind to protect me.
But the prince made it back. He's come this far to do what must be done.
You speak true. Thank you. I failed in my mission that day. But I will not fail a second time.
Fate is a strange thing. What began in these halls will soon end here. But the fight is not against any agent of the curse who remains. Just 2 of its victims.
Not that strange to me. Just means we've moved on. We've already nixed the curse. And this fight ain't just over the past anymore.
Silio.
Indeed. This battle shall decide the future king. Wasn't expecting anything so profound from you.
You wanna take this outside, old fella?
Wait, something's coming.
This uncanny magla. Is this...
So you've come, but you will go no further.
What have you done to yourself?
Ah, of course. This is your first time seeing me like this. Witness how I've ascended to even greater heights. Wonderful, is it not? Lord Luis can take a wretch like me, someone fate condemned, and turn me into a man of power!
Zorba, you...
Did you willingly endure Luis's spell? Did you let him twist your form?
So it's true then. No matter someone's tribe, he can turn them human and make them a monster.
What the hell is worth that? You call this a man of power? Luis turned you into an abomination.
Call me what you wish. This is the form I desire. If magla is a person's anxiety, why resist it? If you long to be liberated, you need only unleash it. In Lord Luis's world, strength is the ultimate judge of all. Nothing else matters. It's freedom and fairness. We're moments from the dawn of a perfect new world.
And how many sacrifices do you reckon it'll cost?
What does it matter? What world was ever won without sacrifice? No. To be bled on an altar so fair and just. It's a noble and beautiful thing. Lord Luis strives to build us a utopia. And I, not you, shall be first to make it my home. You were dealt a winning hand in the game of life. By sheer chance! You have everything I never will. I will not let you soil our new world. You'll die before you ever set foot on liberated ground. With this power, I nurtured under Lord Luis, I will deny you everything! Now die! All of you die! There's no place for parasites like you in our new world!
What point is there to a new world if it costs innocent lives to make it?
Save your breath, Stroll. He is beyond reason.
You're one to talk of reason, you imbecile! I'm not here to chat. I'm here to annihilate you!
This is why she fought for Luis so desperately? To become... that?
Okay, I guess we're not facing Luis right away, we're facing Zorba.
Looks like we can't brute force through this one.
Level 74, so we're actually higher level than him, surprisingly. I think it's pretty cool, by the way, that Zorba was like the first boss fight of the game, and he's kind of like... He's not the last boss fight, obviously, but he's kind of like the second last boss fight, which is pretty cool. Anyway, I always like to try to steal something. Wait, what? I have no steel. Oh, yes, I do. Ah, plunder.
Why, hello.
Energy incense. Curious. Alright, so I'm playing as Elemental Master right now. I'm not playing as Prince.
We'll do this together.
Just because I like Macro Break and I like Skyfall Bolt, and I'll show you why.
The next one's yours.
Okay, Zorba, shut up. Okay, so Thunderhead Dance inflicts one enemy with a one-time weakness to electric. So pretty much like lets me just bypass resistances, which is really nice.
Going for the great job, Judah.
Is that to say for Come?
Okay, so now let's do Holy Knight's Proclamation. Why this is different than normal Knight's Proclamation is because Hulkenberg guards. So it's pretty good. So it's pretty much being resistant to everything.
I stand waiting.
Face me!
And let's do, let's see, Adamant Nightblade, Plasma Nightblade, probably not Adamant Nightblade, let's just do Quick Change.
Now Fear me! Cower before me!
See, that does nothing because she's guarding. It's so busted. Now, we can hit him in the face.
Get him! Let's do this!
Pretty tanky.
Performance of a lifetime.
Pretty fucking tanky. I have 5 turns, by the way. What do I have 5 turns for?
Fear me! Cower before me!
What the? Did he just transform?
Okay, he's now ribcage. Cool. Actually, I think I know why. I did that, by the way.
Brute force through this one.
Pretty sure if I wish I could take a look at my skills, but I think because Hulkenberg is level 20, every time she guards with Holy Knight's Proclamation, she gains a turn. So it's pretty good, right? It's pretty busted. So we can hit him even through this ribcage thing. It's so busted. It really is busted. I mean, it really sucks the MP out of you, which is unfortunate, but it's super powerful at the same time, so
Not now.
I really can't complain. This fight's kind of a joke. If you have a weakness inflictor, which probably everybody does at this point, this fight's kind of a joke.
Damn it! Not again! Lord Louise!
Lord Louise. Unscathed triumph. Yeah, I guess we didn't take any damage, did we? 15,000 XP, thanks.
Damn it! Why? Why does this world keep rejecting me?
How could you push your body this far?
Your deeds bespeak a heart of incredible loyalty, Zorba. 'Tis a tragedy that you have pledged it to the wrong man.
You're the ones who've got it wrong. This world doesn't have much longer. I know you feel it too. Deep down, don't you? Nobody has any choice in how they'll live their lives. They don't even realize it should be their decision. You can't change that world without destroying it. The only man willing to fight for a better world is Lord Luis. Why can't you see that? I get it now. Zorba, you're the only one who understood everything Luis wanted
And fought for it anyway.
I don't care if I'm just a stepping stone. Lord Luis can build his world on my corpse. A world of beautiful equality, where only the chosen may live.
Zorba.
There was naught to be done. He chose his path.
Del and I never knew how to deal with him. Always gloomy and moping about. Then he'd burst with this sudden anger, shouting and lashing out like. Thinking back on it now, makes me wonder if the outbursts were all cries for help. Was it really Luis who did this to Zorba? Or...
We can't waver now. I'll not deny, Luis's words ring true in some ways. But he turned Zorba into a monster, and not with words alone, however badly Zorba wished for it. If Luis really cared to protect him, would he have pushed him to such horrors? It's all a fallacy in the end.
A fallacy, eh? You suppose all that business about equality is just a smokescreen? His ambitions are just dead selfish? I don't know if I buy it myself. Would Luis tell such a shallow lie?
There might be something else to this.
But Zorba never turned against him, in deed or in heart. And he still twisted him like that. It wasn't for his protection.
Speaking of which, he mentioned something curious at the end. He spoke of a new world of beautiful equality, where only the chosen may live.
In other words, only those who obey will survive. That's the deal Luis has been spouting since the start.
I get the feeling that's too simple. Remember Rella's vision? A land full of feral humans, with people either running or going mad. I just doubt we can take Luis's speeches at face value. If his true intentions were as simple as that, Rella wouldn't have left us with that image.
You think Luis still has a real purpose we're not aware of?
No point in pondering it here. We're bound to find him eventually, so we can question him then.
The last statue is close by as well. Let us move onward, that we may do what must be done.
Seems like a lot of foreshadowing, I have to say.
Time to go.
Seems like quite a bit of foreshadowing. For better or worse. Anyway. Yeah, I think it's really cool that the Zorba fight was kind of like the first boss you face, and probably the second last boss. Or maybe not. Maybe Luis isn't the final boss. Maybe it's gonna be... There's gonna be like a hidden guy or something, you know? Oh yeah, by the way, so a little bit of context. Throughout the palace, we've been dismantling these like statue things. These servants of the king. And pretty much every time we do that, our popularity goes up. So I think we're at like 50 right now, so... It kind of makes sense. People in Grand Tribe below are looking down and being like, oh shit. Or looking up and being like, hey, the prince. The prince is a good guy, actually.
What's that? Something just fell out of the sky.
Whoa! It looks like a dead human!
It's not a human. A person? But the body fell from the royal palace. What's going on?
I know this face. Isn't this the mage who was wreaking havoc at the cathedral months ago?
No. Couldn't be. If that's the man who was working for Luis, he'd be long dead. Wait. Has he been alive this whole time? Was he turned into a monster?
I told you, didn't I? It's just like what happened to the prince. Luis is behind the whole thing! Finally ready to talk, are we? Listen up, good people! Luis has lied to all of you!
So then, all that about the fake prince being a monster, that was a lie? He's truly His Highness?
But still, as long as we obey, Count Luis will protect us.
Oh, come off it! You can't just take Luis at his word, people! This Zorba, the man who just crashed down, was one of the Count's most loyal men!
This was Luis's doing. If that's the case, even if we obey, we don't know what he'll do to us.
This is what I've been telling you. Luis isn't wiping out these monsters. He's bloody well mass-producing them. There's even evidence he's giving them orders to attack. Look, we're talking about a man who's openly declared he'll execute anyone he feels like, even average citizens, if they don't fall in line. Is that the king you want?
No, lies. I don't believe you. Count Luis is our savior. He's supposed to save the world.
What if he turns us all into monsters?
About time. Is this the moment the royal capital wakes up to the truth? Is that? Well, well.
What's the situation? Have we even the slightest hope of defeating Luis?
Been a long time, my lord. You've always had a keen eye for reading the situation. Well, the winds are changing. Now, it's just a matter of what you choose to believe in. Can you smell it? There's change in the air. Things are finally getting interesting.
I just want to say, remember my theory about Batlin? I'm staying true to that.
That was Batlin, and the others, wasn't it? They all sounded startled to see Zorba's corpse.
Finally, a reasonable reaction. Seems we've destroyed all the statues then. That should help get people back on our side, don't you think?
Indeed. The sight of Zorba must have finally gotten it through their heads. All Luis has to offer them is insanity.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, back to 2. Let's go. Let's go.
So, none of the king's servants remain.
Then our people are at last sound of mind. Your vile magic will deceive them no more.
My magic. I deceive no one.
What do you mean? You were responsible for all this chaos, weren't you?
In any case, there can be no more doubt. Your support and mine have finally reached parity. You've come quite a way in the short time since the day of your despair. Commendable in all honesty. A marvel indeed. Perhaps I can no longer afford such indulgence. So be it. Come to the throne. With the power of the royal scepter in my hands, I will give you what you deserve.
You have the royal scepter. Surely you haven't.
And as we may now speak plain, I will tell you the truth of both the royal scepter and this very country. I'll be waiting.
Wait, so Luis got his hands on the royal scepter. This is bad. Extremely bad.
Even should we win the majority vote, it won't matter who the new king is. Luis alone would have the power to doom the entire nation.
We've just got to get it back. He wants a face-to-face showdown? Well, we'll give him one.
Sounds pretty spooky. Sounds pretty spooky indeed. By the way, there's so much foreshadowing with there being a different boss. Like, so much foreshadowing. Also, I think I'm gonna switch back to the prince for this final fight. Just because, I don't know, it feels appropriate, right? Got my royal retinue with me and everything, so... let's become a prince once more. Alright, 'tis the final fight. I hope so, anyway. I don't know, I'm getting the feeling this is not gonna be the final fight. Pretty convinced it's not gonna be the final fight at all, actually. Megaten games are always just waiting to fool me.
Such a countenance. So you truly are the Prince Reborn. I must say, you and your father are cut from the same cloth. Quite unpredictable as death looms.
What of you? Is this hornless form your own true being?
I'll say this here for your own good, Luis. Hand over the royal scepter. Only the one who has earned the people's support is fit to be king. You and us. We can still end this without more bloodshed.
No path forward is bloodless. The king may have avoided it, but the people will only shed his shed. That has been this country's crime for too long. Those in power exact the price of their greed from the people, then preach that such pain is a natural trial to be overcome. The indolent powers of this land have poisoned it with their lies. There is no cure but destruction.
Who's the real charlatan here? You turn people into monsters and convince them it's salvation. Even Zorba, your most loyal vassal, you twisted into a monster. You promise protection to your devoted, yet always fall short of the mark.
I have never lied. I swear upon my name, it is one of the greatest trespasses I can imagine. Have you never wondered why the king's magic is so strong and forced? Or why the royal scepter can only be used by those who bear the public's favor? One royal hand clutching one bejeweled rod does not alone accomplish such wonders of magic. But what if it drew magla not from its wielder, but from the masses? That is the truth. The royal scepter is a divine relic that absorbs magla from people across the kingdom. And thus, the royal magic's power is near inexhaustible. Such has been the royal family's tradition for centuries, generations upon generations. Do you know what this means? Magla is mortal anxiety, which means that the people of this country now have no choice but to perpetually direct their anxiety to the king, simply to stay safe.
Absurd. And how do you explain the people of the capital going mad?
It was no madness that took them. The magla spews from their helpless hearts at a rate far greater than the scepter can absorb. Hence the stagnation. The behavior now on full display is their inborn, true nature. When they cannot control their fears, they lash out at neighbor and outsider alike. And that is mortal weakness.
So I bet if you destroyed the royal scepter, then probably everybody would turn into a human, right? Because their magla would have nowhere to go. That's what he's probably gonna say.
That's who they really are.
In a world like this, order built on mutual understanding is but a dream within a dream. Before we achieve resolution, the people must be corrected. On the day the late king's magic fades, I will shake the royal magic anew. All the magla gathered over these months of turmoil will be restored to the people. Those who can overcome it will be reborn as new humans. Thus, we achieve our first round of natural selection. Our first step towards a world truly fair and just.
Natural selection? New humans? What absurd delusions.
Delusions? You witnessed how the prince lost his very self to my spell, and then re-emerged with powers and will burning ever brighter.
You mean you would do to the people exactly what you did to him? You would use the royal magic to inflict such horrors on all the crown's subjects?
Those who follow me and accept the rule of power will surely survive by virtue of their own will. But if they give in to fear, yes, they will lose both form and might. That is what it means to protect those who follow. It is not a salvation given of empty charity, but earned through the providence of power.
Then, that's your true ambition. That's why you sent Zorba to the royal funeral. You never even wanted the throne. It was all for the royal scepter.
The shows of power, terrifying the people. It wasn't just manipulation. You justified all of that.
The man would turn all people into humans. It defies all sense.
Worry not. You've proven you're more than worthy. I've little doubt you'll survive the first culling and move on to the new world. You mentioned earlier that we might still resolve this without bloodshed. Then, I put the same offer to you. Join me, Prince. Born of Elden blood, welcoming anyone regardless of tribe. It is no coincidence that you and I take inspiration from the same book.
Don't let him sway you, Your Highness.
I know you detest injustice as I do. Come with me. Let me lend you my power, and together we will change the unfair world we seek to destroy.
Yeah, I just don't believe you, Luis. I just feel like he's gonna like kill me. He betrays people. He does, but this is an interesting twist we could take. I would be curious to see where this goes, but I'm gonna go with this.
I don't seek to destroy this world or any other.
Exactly! He's nothing like you!
Should you deny me, then what? How would you fix this country? You must have seen it everywhere you traveled. Tradition, superstition, family honor, and all those struck down unjustly in the name of such authorities. The only cure for such suffering is a simpler world, in which strength triumphs over pain. It is not a solution without cruelty. But surely the fairness it would restore to our lives is worth any sacrifice. Come with me, and we can realize this dream. What say you?
You know, the thing is, it's not the craziest pitch from like a villain, you know? It's actually quite tempting because as we travel through Euchronia, it has been fucked. Like, I've seen some messed up shit, especially when you do all the social links, all the confidants, all the bonds. Sorry, looking for the word there. Like, once you see everything, it's like, wow, this place is really messed up. Like, it's super messed up. But I have to continue being my good playthrough, so maybe a New Game Plus will do this, you know?
The fairness you speak of is false.
He's got the right of it, Luis. It's not even about what'll be sacrificed. It's about having respect for what the dream costs. And you've got none of that. You keep talking about your laws of power. But what that comes down to is you figure some people in this world just deserve to die. If that's what you believe in, then you can ache Forden all you want, but you're no different.
Be silent. I once had my own aspirations. Yes, I had dreams. But what has the world ever done for us?
What's happening?
The royal scepter? But how?
So be it. There is still time until my magic settles upon this land. Until then, I will watch the world collapse from my perch at the top.
Wait! Luis!
I have done this for their sakes, not for mine. History and the will of the people will prove that. If you have the strength to weather this storm and come to me, I will deem you a worthy opponent. It will be a mercy to you, at the very least.
If we push forward, we'll be in grave danger. This storm itself is a maelstrom of pure magla.
Maybe this is just what it looks like. When the people's minds are slaves to their anxiety and fear.
That doesn't mean the solution is to deform them into monsters. The man's an arrogant lunatic.
We must give chase somehow.
Oh, aspirants to the throne.
This voice. Your Majesty?
The royal scepter has been taken. Luis now wields the royal magic to his own dark ends.
Luis was one step ahead of us. We did not expect him to seize and use the scepter before the final deadline.
His magic will be set in motion on the very day that the new king is to be decided. Such is the decree.
So it's just as Luis said. He won't let this campaign end any way but his. The bastard always loved making a spectacle of this. Your Majesty, you were killed by Luis yourself. Doesn't it matter to you that he may succeed as king?
I had sought death long before he granted it.
You wished for your own death? But why?
The ideals I once believed in, I no longer had the power within me to fulfill them. Thus, I ensured my very life would serve as key to activate the royal magic. Should revolutionary fervor seek to destroy my regime, should Luis or any other malcontent take my life, therein would lie the catalyst. Thus would I appear, on a day so appointed, with form and voice, given life by royal magic.
I see. No wonder the magic survived even the prince's reawakening. It was never a matter of retaliation against the church or anything of the sort. You truly wished to pass the crown to whoever the people elected of their own will.
Oh, Prince. My son. If thou wouldst inherit the kingdom, thou must stop Luis. That is a trial befitting one who would take the throne.
His Majesty's magla has faded.
I guess that's it. It really is up to us to save this land's future.
Luis is just ahead. We have to find a way to get beyond this storm, reckless or not.
Let's fall back to the royal capital for now, so we can come up with a strategy.
The strategy is to go in and kill him. It's pretty obvious.
Hey! He's running that way! Kill anyone who stands against Count Luis! We fight for justice! Make them understand!
'Tis a battlefield out here. They know nothing of their savior's true intent, yet the streets are teeming with self-declared military police.
What's a man supposed to do when they're running around screaming about justice with bloodshot eyes?
So it's a crime to even disagree now. He said this was just their nature. I suppose I can see where his disappointment springs from.
But your allies are working hard too. It's not all as bad as it looks.
We are grateful. We will believe in their support as they believe in us.
By the way, I talked with Nurus on how to get to Luis's location. And of course, he said there's only one thing for it. Armor up the Skyrunner and dive in.
That's your strategy?
Think, my girl. It's our best play. But with no time for modifications, I can't say how long she'll last in there. I say, we've got one shot to charge in.
A proper dramatic do-or-die fight.
The road you run is perilous.
If we have but one chance, I'd say the final day is when we'd have even the slightest odds of success.
Right. That place is churning with the scepter's gathered magla. But if the casting steadily drains it away, then much of the ambient magla should be gone by the last day.
A proper dramatic do-or-die fight at the very last minute.
We would walk a treacherous tightrope until the very end. But have we ever done things any other way?
We cannot yield now. Luis's ambitions must be stopped, even at the cost of our lives.
Let's give it a shot.
2 days left. Yes.
You worked out some more of the truth, yes? Can you tell me more about what happened at the Royal Palace?
Luis is Elden. Everything is as we were told at the Ancient Sanctum.
What? Bloody hell. That's a heavy hit right off the bat.
Luis knew the truth of the royal scepter. It's a divine relic that absorbs anxiety from the people. That's the fuel for its incredible power.
The masses have grown accustomed to a life where the king bears the brunt and responsibility for their anxieties. All this chaos comes from that dynamic's reversal.
Might need you to slow down a bit. So that's his aim. Luis wants to make this a land of humans.
A drastic remedy to awaken the people spoiled by the royal scepter's power. And their horrific transformation is but the end to his chosen means. Yet I sensed some other reason to go to such atrocious lengths. He pursues some other purpose.
Well, if he's Elden, then Luis must have been there when the Sanctus Church made an inferno of his home. So, you suppose it's for revenge?
Can't say. He also ordered Zorba to directly attack the Ancient Sanctum after all.
Something he said stuck with me. About how he used to have dreams. Dreams long dead. I think he doesn't trust dreams. As in, he refuses to believe in anything that actually takes a risk. Like connecting with people or personal change. Maybe to Luis, dreams are just lies.
Perhaps he wants to push history forward with his own hands, like those of the world past.
It's ludicrous. I'll not let him get away with his self-obsessed madness. If we're to be ruled, it shouldn't be by someone who's given up on the world.
Indeed. Besides, the rightful heir stands with us. Should we succeed, you stand to inherit the throne soon. Are you prepared, Your Highness?
Yes, of course.
You really are committed, huh? In any case, we'll confront Luis on the last day. Until then, let's tie up our loose ends so we can fight with no regrets.
You've done a fine job so far. Time to follow through on those campaign promises, eh? Win this one for us.
Alrighty, so we've talked to all our teammates, talked to all the people we made bonds with. And pretty much in essence, they gave us a bunch of little tokens, kind of like Persona. None of it was voice acted, by the way, so that's why I didn't feel particularly obligated to show it. But yeah, let me see. Here we go. So These were given to us, and pretty much it gives us bonus stats if we're channeling certain lineages. So, for example, +1 to all stats when channeling the Seeker lineage. I think Moore gave us this. So if I'm going to channel the Seeker, I get +1 all stats. So it's pretty cool. It's like a passive, I think. Anyway, I think I've pretty much completed everything I would like to complete. I stocked up on items, got all my stuff in order, talked to everybody, so... At this point, it feels pretty much perfect to just continue and go fight Luis for real this time. Because it feels like I've been putting it off, or the story has been putting it off at least, so... I actually like Gallica. I think Gallica's a pretty cool mascot, helper, whatever you want to call her.
Here.
Aw, thanks Gallica. Satchel calm. I actually have to think, do I want to go into the final fight as a mage? Like as a warlock, elemental wizard, or do I want to stick with the prince? I said I was going to stick with the prince, but I feel like I would be more powerful as a mage.
I think this is finally it. By the next sunrise, whoever has the most support will be the victor, chosen by the royal magic.
We've gathered enough support to be a match for the blackguard, but we could be undone by the slightest change in the winds.
I mean, the royal scepter's in Luis's hands now. Whoever the royal magic picks, we'll still have to go stop him.
It is a feat only we can accomplish.
We'll get it done. And Del, you better be watching.
No matter what happens, I will protect you. 'Tis my oath.
You'll come back, right? It feels just like it did on the day Papa left. Oh, I'm sorry. I know I shouldn't cry. Oh.
Don't worry. Everything will turn out fine. Right, Your Highness?
We'll see you soon, Maria. Without a doubt.
You extra double swear. That's a promise.
You better be promising me too. Like, you better actually come back. Better not be any of this fucking Persona 3 bullshit.
Luis seemed earnest in his wishes, at least. We'd be mistaken to cast him as a villain of pure black and white. But whatever his motives, it doesn't change the fact that his methods amount to massacre. Even if there's more to Luis's arguments than it seemed, you're all my friends. We've come this far together, and I'll always believe in you over him.
Yes, I agree.
'Tis a sentiment you know we all share. Let us vanquish Luis and rebuild our country.
I am glad we travel as friends. I thought that the reason we are less susceptible to the Magla's maddening power was thanks to our mastery of the archetypes. But perhaps it's something else. We just need someone with whom our hearts connect. Someone who is willing to face the same anxiety alongside us and move forward.
Indeed. I too was a slave to my despair. But you all helped me find my way back. I know I'd be lost without you.
Weren't we all at some point? Oh, this is getting a bit syrupy, even for me. Let's just make sure we survive. So the people of a new kingdom can hear our tales.
Then we better have a proper bash once we're back safe and sound. You let the good lady Fabienne know we're reserving the place. Hey, Maria?
Okay, I'll ask her to cook something delicious too.
Now that'd be a treat. She cooked this fantastic red grass beedo the first time I was here, and it's been on my mind since.
By request, I've pushed the Skyrunner to her absolute limits too. On my honor as a right, I swear the old girl will get us there in one piece. Bit of a one-way trip, though. Can't promise a return flight.
Well, we're used to improvising escape routes. Tomorrow we settle this, once and for all.
Alrighty, time to go to the final battle, the Swirl of Magla. Let's just take a moment to kind of appreciate
It's time.
the Tyrant Star. Let's just take a minute to appreciate the metaphor map, shall we? Euchronia. So we started out in Grand Trad, went to that, this northern border fort. That was our very first location. Came back, went to Martira, went to Brawlhaven, went to Virga Island, went to Alterbury Heights, stupid fucking name, then came back. Out of all the regions, I was kind of thinking about this, they're actually all really unique. I think it's probably a toss-up between Brylehaven, probably Brylehaven and... yeah, I like Brylehaven, I don't know why. It feels like kind of unique at the same, it's unique. They're all unique, to be honest, but... anyway, enough of that. Not a geography lesson. Let's go face Luis and save the country.
It's a vortex of tremendous magic. The magla in the air is so dense, I can almost grasp it in hand.
Eurus! That was not an encouraging sound.
Lost. So much for the armored hull.
Come up, man! You have to find a way through this!
Well, consequences can come later. I'm taking off her limiters. Hold on. Come on, old girl. We're partners. Keep it together.
It is not so much a place as it is raw magla, furious and unchecked. The shores of the hereafter spill forth from the royal scepter, now in the hands of Luis. If it is the sun that proclaims the day, and the moon that ushers the night, then the celestial lord of these red skies, ill with anxiety, is the Tyrant star. We await tidings, be they favorable or ruinous. The future of the kingdom will at last be decided.
Close shave. Rather too close. But we made it. But that rattling doesn't sound too clever. I think this is as far as the old girl goes.
It's broken? But what about our way back?
Calm down, old thing. I'll try some repairs. It's just I've never seen her in such a bad way.
'Tis as we expected then. We have no escape route.
Well, if things get rough out there, you can give me a shout. Still got the bunks if you need some rest to pull yourself together.
Right. Let's move.
Da da da, the main menu music. Do 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 do. This shit is epic. I love this. It's so good. Alright, so let's do a little bit of theory crafting. What do I want to do for this fight? I'm pretty sure I want to do the Prince. The Prince is just so cool, and it feels like it's like lore friendly at the same time. So we're gonna take Arcane Unity, Magic Circle, Hyper, and Magic Boost. And if we combine that with probably Fire Art with Juna, and Juna also has, just want to make sure she has Fire Weakness. Juna has Hellfire Dance. Alright, good. So if we combine this with Hellfire Dance, and we do like Hyper, and we do a bunch of other shit, we should be good. The only thing I'm worried about is Makrokarn, because if Luis has something that can block magic, I'm kind of fucked. So what I can do for that is, I need to find somebody who can, out of my team, who can inherit it. Alrighty, we should be good now. Should be good. This is so epic. I love this. I'm actually getting hype. It's crazy. The music is just so, like, fucking good. Wait, we have to face enemies to get there? Alright, we can do a little last minute farming. That's fine. Alright, these guys are... what level are you? Huh? Not even tell me.
Come on! Let's push through!
Okay, so we're killing them one shot. We're good. Alright, this dungeon is pretty easy for the most part. I think that's because I'm over-leveled by... I mean, I wouldn't actually say I'm over-leveled. I'm definitely a high level, but it's a pretty big dungeon, but we should be able to get through it pretty quick.
That's brilliant.
Seems like it's a really nice place to grind. Like 1,000 XP, 600 XP. It's pretty good. So we actually may be able to get everybody to level 20 easily, which I am particularly happy about. Alright, so we came up to this rock, and it says strong presence, so probably one of the boss fights I talked about.
That's true.
We'll see what this is. See if it's something easy or not. Oh, it's a human. Okay, fine.
The human from the border fort? But it looks different somehow.
Oh yeah, it is the human from the border fort, isn't it?
Looks like we can't
Curious.
force through this one.
Very curious. Alright, this seems like a good time to kind of test out what I was talking about. So I'm gonna do Hyper. See how much damage we do with this. Hyper into Hellfire Dance. Then we do Fire Art. That's it?
Okay,
Holy shit, this thing is really tanky. 70, that's not that much damage. Holy shit. Alright, this fight's pretty easy. He's just really tanky, and I guess what I'm concerned about at this point is that he's gonna take away too much of my MP before the final fight with Luis. That's kind of what I'm most worried about, so I mean, I wish the game would say, hey, we're gonna refill your MP before the final fight, because there's not really a lot of incentive seeing how you only get 1 day to do all this, to like do these fights.
Come on, follow me. This might sting. Great job, Juna.
I'll use what I must.
Something new.
Let's set it up.
If you would.
Alrighty, he's dead. That was easy. Hopefully I get some good XP from that, like I said. Hopefully some items too would be nice.
I dare say.
What?
Oh, okay, so defeating these crystals will make the... Ah, okay. So it'll make the boss fight Luis easier. Interesting.
Right.
Very interesting. Alright, cool. I actually have some incentive to do this now. Hero King's Sword. Oh shit, Hero King.
This is...
Significant MP recovery while buffed. Okay, that's exactly what I need actually. Perfect. Okay, cool. So yeah, so I guess that kind of like answers my question about the MP stuff. Alright, cool. So I imagine we'll find weapons for all of our companions. We'll probably have to face the baby human again too, and probably... trying to remember the other humans. Probably the human in the ocean. Alright, we got Heisme to level 20, so now he has Noble Thief's Soul. Which, by the way, I think is one of the most broken things I've seen, especially with 97 agility, so... Heisme is gonna be quite difficult to kill.
Ready?
Alrighty, time for another boss, another human. I'm gonna guess it's the baby. Probably the baby boss, or... baby boss. Probably the baby, or maybe the sea creature.
Oh no, this is the one from the
Oh, it's the sandworm. Oh, okay.
flashbacks to getting eaten.
Oh yeah, that's right, the sandworm, okay.
I'll end up hide myself.
6,000 damage, pretty decent, pretty decent. Hard to talk shit about that, honestly.
We'll do this together.
Get after it, Nob.
9,000 damage, goodbye. That was Hyper with Debilitate and Hero's Cry, so... I'll take the XP, thank you. Holy shit, got like 3 things. Hero King's Mace, Brawler King's Fist, Hero King's Abacus. Wow.
Very nice.
Probably gonna give us Hero King items for every character if I had to guess. Alrighty, third one. Well, who the fuck? Oh, it's the human from the cathedral.
The human we fought at the Grand Cathedral. It's even angrier now.
Yeah, it looks pretty angry, but still should be able to kill it quite easily.
Dodged. Nice one, Captain.
These guys don't do a lot of damage, by the way. It's these fights. I think these fights are meant to be like. It's almost like the game's way of saying, hey, the final boss may be really tough if you don't do these super easy fights. It's just that they take a little bit of time.
Behold, do this together. Give it all you've got.
Alrighty, another one bites the dust. Yeah, these guys are just super tanky. That's all it is, really. Mage King's Staff, War King's Claymore, Hero King's Lance. Perfect. I'll be taking all those, thank you. Let's throw the Claymore on Stroll. Increased critical hit chance, which is pretty amazing. Hard to debate that one. The question is, do I want to use Lance of Judgment or Hero King's Lance? I think Lance of Judgment's actually way better, because significantly increases the damage from being hit by your weakness. I hate being hit by my weakness in the first place, so I think I'd rather just stick with the Lance of Judgment, honestly. Feels like the better one. Alrighty, here's the baby fight, but I feel like that's not what the baby looked like, though, did it?
Castle? I thought we'd seen the last of it.
Yeah, I think the baby looks a little different.
Looks like we can't. I'll end up myself.
Alrighty, baby's dead. That fight was a little bit annoying. These guys, the mana thing's becoming an issue, just because obviously to do all these fights requires a lot of mana, and it's like not giving me any saps or anything, not giving me any stuff in the overworld for me to recharge the old batteries, sadly.
I shall ride.
Gunners, Thieves, Faker. Alright, cool. So we can put that on Heisme for sure. Heisme, here you go, buddy. Significantly increased slash attack strength. Fine. I don't really use Heisme as an attacker, so that doesn't feel worthless, but it doesn't feel fantastic by any means. Tentacle Boy.
Is
Is this the last human we faced? I think it may be, actually. I don't quite remember. Yufa is pretty good for this fight because there's so many tentacles and everything to aim at, so I definitely recommend bringing her along.
Let's go.
Goodbye, Squid Man. 8200 XP. I need some fucking mana though, man. There better be more. Better be there like, oh, hello, Prince. I know you're going into the toughest fight in the game. Would you like some mana? All right, Hero King's banner, Hero King's fan. Excellent. There's probably one more fight after this then because I didn't get anything for Basilio. So if we get this to Juna, increase evasion against / pierce and strike. That's really nice actually. Oh yeah, the human on the island, that's right. This is probably the last boss if I had to guess, unless there's another human I can't remember. I don't think we faced a human in Altibar, did we? Alright, so I tried to do the last, the kind of like mini boss, but he kept Dakaja and Dakun to mean me, so I'd have to invest so much mana into something that I don't think is really gonna help me that much, so yeah, I'm not really interested. Unless of course they regenerate my mana here, but I don't think they will. Also, for the record, every single one of my teammates is Royal Archetype and Mastered, so looks pretty good for us, honestly. We're a pretty tough team to contend with. It's just the mana. It's just the fucking mana that's the problem. Alright, so I assume this is the actual final fight with Luis now, so I'm gonna take myself, Izme, Juna, and Hulkenberg. I think it's a pretty good team. Pretty good team for the most part, I can't complain much. I mean, we took out 5 out of the 6 in the mini bosses, so that should, unless it's one of these things where you have to kill all 6, then he should be pretty weak.
I confess, I did not believe you would actually survive the gauntlet.
Oh, please. Think about what you're trying to achieve. Nothing could stop us from getting to you.
I can accept that you hate injustice. Maybe we do share that. But I have to ask, Luis, why go to this extreme? Is it because you're Elda? You saw your village destroyed for petty, evil reasons. Is this revenge?
Revenge? Ludicrous. That would accomplish nothing. An entire tribe does not become so derided to the point of genocide by authority figures alone, but by the vice of the society in which that ignorance is born. Indeed. It would be equally petty of me to take only the heads of the few familiar guilty. For my own satisfaction, no. I would not repay injustice with injustice.
Then why? You drew the entire nation into your scheme without hesitation. If not revenge, then what would compel you to such ends?
It is true that I was born in the ancient sanctum, but I never held any fondness for the place. The Elder have long lived in hiding, clutching the truths of the world to themselves alone. A tribe of doors locked and secrets encoded. I wanted to change that isolation. And then, at long last, a man from outside the village came to visit. None other than your father, Prince. Though royalty, he dreamed that the tribes might stand side by side as equals. And he rejected none of our village's history, however inconvenient to his worldview. I saw him with the eyes of a child. And for the first time, I felt a dream stir. Were there more idealists like him in the world outside? Was my life of hiding at an end? Under the canopy of that gloom-thick forest, all I wanted was to leave and live upon the open plains beneath a wider sky. That was all. As for what happened to the ancient sanctum afterwards, it is a story you've already been told.
It was set aflame and crushed beneath the church's heel. The Sanctist warrior monks and ordinary guardsmen alike, all in the palm of Forden's hand.
Neighbors and kin I'd known all my life were soon nothing but ash on the wind. Too quick to realize their own deaths. I was but a child, trembling before a wall of fire. It was a massacre. It had nothing to do with any hate on either side, or retaliation for any perceived offense. It was only pure injustice. A selfish act of devastation. One thought alone burned in my mind. I would never let it happen again. And so did I walk onward.
It was tragic.
Thus, I choose to make this a land of eternal, perfect equality, even should it cost my life. I shall return the anxieties endowed upon this scepter, and let it be heard. To burden others with your own fears and responsibilities is cowardice. My royal magic shall craft a world where that cannot be. Such cowardice dies.
What a lonely way to see things.
That's what turned you so cold-blooded, eh? First I've heard of it, but... Sorry. Means we got all the more reason to kill ya.
Luis! You're not describing a nation that condemns evil. You're describing a nation that's entirely blind to it. A land of amoral beasts, not people. In the end, I think you're still trapped. You've been stuck in that night of flames all your life. You don't trust anyone. That's why you can only imagine a world apart from you. Unless you can face that anxiety within yourself, then you're no different from everyone you've rejected.
So be it. From the beginning, I have championed world order determined by power. All that remains is for me to realize my truth by burying you beneath it. You are not the sole wielders of these lost archetypes. I am Luis, bearer of the royal scepter. With only a thought, the power of kings is mine to command.
What?
Behold, and I will reveal the secrets still beyond you.
He's hot.
We decide our world's future here.
Just imagine him naked.
Our land is consumed with anxiety as it has never been before. All of it, foundation for my new, better world. You are but an audience, powerless to tread on history's stage. Let it begin.
We fight for your ideal world. Here and now. We'll take him down.
Alrighty, Archdemon Louis Kalajlius.
Falling back.
Pretty cool name. I gotta give it to him.
Face me.
I'll give him that. It is a cool name. Alright, so we're gonna do the same type of thing. I know it's boring, but it works. So, Heroes Proving, Hyper, buffed up all crazy, like, and then we'll see how that goes.
Face my wrath.
Your desperation shows.
Face my wrath. You cannot run from your
Okay,
fate.
that wasn't that bad. I actually don't think I should be using Heisme's block ability anymore because I think he has such a high chance to dodge that it would just end the turn for Luis, which is kind of what I want. At the same time though, no, I shouldn't. I should just stop. Alright, let's see how much this does. Not bad, 6,300. It's pretty good. Can't complain that much.
Take this.
Yeah, see, that should end his whole turn now, right? Yeah. See, that's way too broken, man. That's so busted. Especially for a final fight.
Take this.
Heisme! 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 Carry me, Heisme! Carry me, Heisme! Yes.
For all that I believe.
What a miss! What an awful miss! Oh my god, that was the worst miss in the world. What the fuck? He's fully debuffed. How do you miss that?
Very good. By all means, challenge me. Stake everything you have on this battle. I will face your convictions head on and crush them. This is but my first step towards my ideal world. There is no hope for you.
No, no.
Face my wrath. Your desperation shows. Magna, come to me.
Luis is gathering an unbelievable amount of magla around him. We can't let him finish whatever he's doing.
Try to interrupt his attack somehow.
Yeah, okay, I'll do what I can.
Stop him before he takes us
Putting a
out
lot
with
of shit
one
on me,
shot.
just saying.
There is no hope.
Stop using the Kunda. Stop using the Kunda. Let me debuff you. Stay debuffed. Yes, Heisme. Yes, Heisme. Come on, Heisme. Yes, Gallica. Yes. Everybody, yes. Good. We're all doing well. No! Horrible miss, Hulkenberg. Why? Why, Hulkenberg? Stop DPS. No! Not Dekasha. No! Go back to attacking me and failing. Yes, there you go.
Take this.
Yes, Heisme. Another amazing dodge. Yes. Yes. Die. Die. Oh my god, we kill him? There's no phase 2, right?
I do not fear death. And yet...
13,000 XP. Let's go.
I think we've won this one.
So the power I have now is not enough. The magla drawn to the royal scepter has faded more than I expected. Just as I thought. I would be a fool to underestimate you, but I made a decision that day. Even if history remembers me as a destructor king, I will put an end to the injustices of this world.
What? What are you...
I commend you. Clearly no half measures will do. If I am to take your lives, I must stake my own, and all its power.
Damn, we can't get close. It is a tremendous aura.
God damn
I
it.
have a vision, and you will interfere with it no longer.
Wait!
It's his gauntlet runner.
Luis still has the royal scepter. If we let him buy time, there's no telling what he'll do.
Bloody hell! We can't even go after him.
There's no time to go back down to land and reorganize. We'll do whatever it takes to get that scepter back before the dawn.
Is it not over? Oh my god. What the fuck? Just kill this guy.
Ah, everyone! That bastard Luis took to his Skyrunner!
Yes, we know. Can you go after him?
It'd be suicide, lad. Oh, suppose it's too late to back down now. Well, I was saving some reserve power for the trip home. But if we're using it here, we're using it here. Well, chums, batten down the hatches and brace for the storm. Hop to it now! Get in! I'll just fire up the...
Look over there! Enemies! Ugh, of all times! Wait, how many are there? Where did they all come from?
He's trying to slow us down. Ain't like Luis to put off a fight, but I suppose he's too cornered to be picky anymore.
Hold on! The old girl's still barely holding together. She can't take off that quickly.
What do we do?
Your Highness, you get in the runner first. We'll buy you some time for takeoff.
We can fight them together.
No. Even if we get the Skyrunner off the ground, it'll all be for naught if anything happens to you. No need to fuss anyway. We'll just kick them around for a bit while preparations are underway. Does that work for everyone else?
Fine. Suppose I'll keep you company.
Had you not suggested it, I would have done so myself.
What else are we gonna do? Twiddle our bums inside while Norris does all the work.
Nearest, don't let us down now.
Right. I'll get it done, damn it. Hop in, Your Highness.
Well, let's do this.
We hold the line! I must endure this.
Hulkenberg!
Got it! We're powered!
Not good. They're going for the Sky Runner.
Not on my watch.
Let's wreck him.
Hey, what are you doing?
Sure you want to die next to me, old man? Thought you ate platypus.
Aye, it's true I don't understand you and I never will. But I know I don't hate you, boy.
Let's go!
Aye! We fly!
What?
And no one must protect his people! Take this!
Finally, I've earned my title.
She flies. Straight and steady.
Our kingdom is in your hands, my prince.
We gotta go back! Everyone, they're going to!
We can't go back now.
We have to!
Take cover in the back. You made my dreams come true. You and the rest of them. If we live, we'll meet again.
What are you...
Let's fly!
You serious with this shit? Did everybody die? That didn't happen. They're fine. They have to be.
You've lost everything, and yet still here you stand. I must say your audacity is almost admirable. However, you rejected me, and I will not relinquish the royal scepter. Since we cannot come to terms, we can only decide this through battle. I have but one final question. Prince, do you wish to stop me? Or do you wish to be king? What is it you truly want?
Man, my friends just died. I'm not here to listen to your shit.
It doesn't matter.
You must hold ideals of your own. When will such empty ambitions come to fruition, I wonder? In life's balance, dreams that don't come true are equal to lies. But it hardly matters now. My ascension is complete. With my own hands, I will tear apart these lie-laced dreams and bury the past. Here ends the royal bloodline and the legacy of the archetypes. We stand on the threshold of a new dawn, a new age.
I can't listen to any more of this. What new age? What do you know about him? All you do is destroy. You refuse to believe in dreams. That's why you can't believe in anything that's gradual, complicated, and slow to change. All that means is that you give up on everything. You'll never beat us. You're nothing but a coward, trying to escape this reality for one you made up.
The time for words has passed. So be it.
Such intense magla!
The quintessential force of the archetype. Is this all?
Such strength! How? It's happening so quickly!
Behold! This is the Royal Scepter's potential. Resist no longer. As I said, I would rather not force needless death upon you. Embrace it once more. Take your true form and become worthy of my new world. You are unfazed by the melancholy. Yet you thirst. Drink deep of the magla-wielding.
Not again!
What?
Stop! No! No! This can't be! Wake up! I said wake up! Hey! Please!
My obstacles are clear. The boy
Open your eyes!
is no more.
Wake up! Please! You have to wake up.
Where? Are you awake now? I summoned you just in time. Do you remember what happened? What you've done?
I ripped out my...
I'm frankly amazed you would go to such lengths, even to fight back against the spell. If I hadn't saved you, you really would be dead. But rest assured, we're finally safe. As for where we are far, far away from that hellish world. Do you remember the first time we met? I was sure you would find a clue in your journey that might reveal where in the world this place is. So I believed anyway, but I was wrong. From the start. This place is... It was never of that world to begin with. No. Maybe there's a better way to put it. This is a place that exists between reality and fantasy. In other words, the world we've been living in is fantasy. The journey was all an illusion.
An illusion?
There's nothing but despair in that world. And it will never get better. It's an endless, painful, irredeemable hell. I'd always believed that creating a utopia was possible. And if there was desire, then I thought maybe one day someone would achieve it. But I came to realize I was mistaken. In the end, a fantasy is just that. A fantasy. But all that primordial chaos only exists in that world. The world of reality is nothing like that. Really, it's an environment you should know quite well. You've come to know so much of it already. Through text on a page. Now, behold!
Isn't this?
Indeed. It's the world I wrote accounts of in my novel. Until now, you've thought this world a mere fantasy. But it's not.
So the world I know is all an illusion. And the world of the novel is... reality?
Surely you already know. There is no deadly magic, no prejudice between its people. Now, all you have to do is admit that everything you've been through has been nothing but a story. Just a fantasy. Then this can be your perfect reality.
No prejudice? What the fuck are you talking about? What is going on? This is weird as hell.
Your journey of revolution was just a passing dream. Let me take you back to reality, child.
What will happen to my friends?
You don't have to worry. As long as you can accept that this place is real, everyone will be safe. That world is past any point of redemption. Change is impossible. The royal magic was supposed to be the turning point, but it was all for nothing. In the end, people don't want their world to change. They just want someone to be a sponge for their infinite anxieties. That's all. You can't blame Luis for wanting to end that cycle. How could anyone accept that they lived in a world that miserable?
Even so, I don't want to give up on it.
Come on, snap out of it!
What?
My, such disbelief on your face. But once you stop to consider it, the ideas fall apart. Come now. Magic? Some otherworldly force capable of anything with anxiety as its fuel? A fanciful idea to sustain a fantasy world. Illusion. All of it. Those curiosities in academia, they were there because of the place's connection to true reality. And not even they could endure. You still don't believe me. Why is that?
I still have unfinished business.
But why? What unfinished business remains in an unwinnable battle? If I hadn't saved you, you would have died there. You don't have to chase your fears and anxieties based on some misguided concept of justice. It was all illusory, and there is no shame in accepting that. Reality is a monolith. Reality is unchangeable. So stay here in Utopia, in the place you loved reading about so much.
This place, it isn't a utopia.
You deny it? Will you deny that the world of the novel is utopia?
This is literally Persona 5 Royal in terms of like, Mor is like Maruki. This guy is delusional. He wants something perfect, it's just not possible.
I can at least cast my usual spell for you. It's the small comforts, right? Music was the first magic this world ever knew after all. Makes the road a little easier, right?
The journey, my friends,
They were as real as anything I've known.
Why won't you understand? Please, I don't want you to die. I can't lose anything else. Truly, I see. I understand now. I remember. I had indeed lost everything. Despite my lofty ideals, I lost everything. Academia, the woman I loved, even my only child. Reality isn't just cruel. It's cruel beyond any hope of change. That's why I had wished for someone to strike me down and end my misery.
Who are you?
Me. If I were to call myself by a name you know, my name is Hithlodius V. I once reigned as king.
What? This is Hithlodius?
Or I'm half of one, to be accurate. I was born of the very magic that split the prince in twain and gave rise to you and this place. No, it is not real. We are inside the book you hold. It served as your key to visiting me. This was the form of my youth, when first I entered the ancient sanctum. Perhaps it would be best to call me a discarded shadow of idealism. I once took such joy and passion from my ideals. I truly believed that I might end the strife and discrimination that plagued our people across 9 endless years. But the tremendous incomprehension and injustice that defines our world, it was more than I could bear. It broke me. And Luis is likely going through the same thing. I want to save you from that despair. I understand now that I would do this as your father. I could not bear to lose my child a second time. If you stay here, at least you'll be saved. Do you truly still want to leave this place and risk your life to face a reality you can't change?
The battle's not over yet.
You are on the cusp of dying at Luis's hands. Is that not proof enough that we lack the power to change reality? I can't let you throw your life away against that man. I must stop you. Even if you come to hate me for it. Fantasy is a curse, sweet in seeming. And if I must save you from it, I will teach you what reality is.
What the fuck? Wait, what?
I suppose how I promised to travel the world someday is destined to be only another unfulfilled dream. Archetypes embody the power of heroes who sought to change the world.
And even having mastered such power against Luis, you could accomplish nothing. I wrote all my ideas into my novel, but my love's death showed me how empty it all was. You cannot sacrifice your one life for an empty dream.
I don't want to turn my back on my ideals.
Why can't you see that those ideals will only invite ruin? If no one else, you must live. That world is beyond your help. Beyond any utopia. You must face reality, my son.
What the fuck is this? Okay, well at least they gave me my mana back. Alright, Hero's Cry. Probably the best use of Hero's Cry ever. Hyper. Hero's Proving.
Let's go.
And Radiance. Holy shit, that did a ton of fucking damage.
So you would vainly struggle onward in the real world. The novel I wrote for you seems to have kindled only ideals of naivete in you. Then even my folly has come to haunt you. My mistakes poison your life. As your father, you leave me no choice. I will put an end to this madness.
It's still my turn, so can you be quiet?
Why don't you understand?
He's so low. Just die.
It was in this story, in this book, where you found your ideals. Haven't you always dreamt of utopia? Why do you resist it now? Why refuse me? This is for your sake.
You better have something better than that, bro. Yeah.
Why? You were my first reader. You of all people have to understand.
Let's go.
Okay, bye-bye.
So this is what it means to truly strive toward an ideal. What irony. After I spoke of fulfilling my dream alongside you. What power. To see the archetypes brought to such heights in so little time. If you go back now, your ambitions will avail you nothing. You'll only die a dog's death. What is it that drives you so?
You gave up on your hopes, but I will not.
What? You think I chose to give up? Are you this determined to cling to your beliefs? Is that truly what separates us and keeps me confined here? Such power. Can it be? No matter how dire your fate, you never gave up. You surmounted every barrier, gathered and united soul after soul, and now, at last, across 3 nations, 8 tribes, and humankind. To unite heroes across such abyssal divides would require surpassing power. The king of all archetypes. Is that the role you would seize? A true king in body and soul.
Do you hear me? Your Highness!
Oi! Wake up, Your Highness! How? Their voices reach you? Even here? It would seem your future is not yours alone to decide.
I have a fight to win.
The support and ardor of your allies. Yes. The very power that reveals paths beyond your own perspective. I see. That is whence you draw your power. Neglect anxiety, and magic will lead to ruin. Even before the War of Destruction, the downfall was foretold. Yet still, they met their prophesied end. Perhaps archetypes are the will of humankind of old, left to us. A plea that we learn from their failures.
that we might rebuild the future ripped from them.
I have to try. I want to know how far I can go.
Fascinating. Even as you face down the gravest oppression of reality, still you persist. Still you seek the world's unknowns as precious possibility. I see. Well, if you can believe there is more to the story than the end I see, then it is yours to tell. Once you return to reality, this place will surely fade as the dream it is. I, myself, will not be spared. Unlike you, my other half is long gone. And any reunion, lost. But if I truly am the idealized soul and hope of your father, then before I fade, I entrust you with the power of my life. Not as the author more, but as your father, the king.
Alrighty, so I guess I don't know, I'm tempted to make a save here. I don't know how much more we're gonna have in this. Alrighty, so I'm gonna call this one quits. Next time for sure will be the final video, but yeah, that was a lot to take in. Moa being our Daddy Hythlodaeus, that was an interesting twist. I knew he had some sort of relevance, but I wasn't 100% sure. Anyway, next time will be the finale. Hope everybody's looking forward to it. I certainly am, and I shall see you then.